Hi there, it's Brian Sash, and this is Movie Reviews and More, Worldwide TV Network, ITV 247, out of Franklin, Tennessee, WomenOnTV.tv, and soon to be Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, coming up starting November 1st. So this is an interesting show because you and I have never met before, Sage. Who are you? Tell us what state you're in, because I love that plaque behind you, which we were just talking about. And where did you come from?
So my name's Suede. I'm a musician in Austin, Texas. I produce my own music and make everything myself from scratch.
And obviously, we have our co-host Nonstop out of there. I have to start saying Terry almost because Terry and Sherry on, each one of them start answering for each other, which is interesting. I'm just going to start saying Nonstop from now on. And Terry, your hair looks good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I lightened it. I lightened it like 2 weeks ago. You just saw me Tuesday.
Yeah, but you keep looking differently, though.
I guess I'm being a chameleon. I don't know. Maybe I'm happier.
All right, so Sage, tell us how did you come about? Because I was reading things on you. It's very interesting.
Yeah, so I make all my music myself. I've just been a musician for about 20 years. Like I started out as a kid and all that. And when I was in middle school, I started doing like electronic beats. And I've done a lot of different kinds of things. So when I was first trying to get into music, I was doing more like acoustic stuff. And then I was like, oh, I like the electronic stuff better. So now I'm producing more electronically. And I do play a few different instruments too. So there's definitely a lot of musicality involved too, even though it's more electronic. Yeah, I mean, it's just constant work.
I have a question for you. I don't want to date myself, but as far as electronic music, like who inspires you? Like the newer artists, or like artists maybe that kind of pioneered it, like Depeche Mode and those kind of people? Like where do you kind of get your ideas from?
So I like a lot of indie artists and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of artists all over the world. I feel like my perspective is more global than most people.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is probably because I grew up with YouTube. I think that came out like when I was in middle school or something, or just starting middle school. So my perspective's been a lot more like from musicians all over the world and stuff like that. And that's also one of the reasons that I became a polyglot and stuff like that. So I'd say mostly indie artists. There are some artists that I've liked for a while that have managed to become mainstream. Like I like Sia. I liked her when she came out with like Drink to Get Drunk in the 90s. And then she
Uh-huh.
chose like not to be famous right away because she was going through some hard stuff. But yeah, she's definitely great. And I like a lot of indie acts though in general.
Austin is always a very
And
interesting
then,
and a cool hip place. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry, go ahead.
oh no, I just was wondering like what he's currently doing right now with COVID as far as projects and all that and how it's affecting him.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. So it actually does tie in with Austin too, so that works.
You're where?
So I'm in Austin,
Okay.
and it's been harder to record music videos, and I can't get as many people as involved as before. Like I can't do like a huge shoot or anything, and it's hard to even get the cameramen to show up.
Yeah, if we're all struggling with this stuff.
Yeah, so my direction's been more with like animations. So my album Thick Juicy Bass, I had 4 3D music videos for it, which I had commissioned through artists that I met on Instagram. And we're actually going to have a gallery showing at the Gallery ATX today too. So I'm excited about that.
That is exciting. And
Well,
go
that's
on,
actually
Brian. You
pretty
had a question.
good.
I didn't interrupt you.
Austin has had a weird 3 or 4 years. I think of South by Southwest. I think of what's been happening or what's not been happening a little bit musically. What have you been finding out about that? And then how have you been surviving during that?
Um, yeah, it is an interesting time because I think this is the first time South by Southwest has been canceled in something like 18 years or something like that, consecutively that they've had it. I don't remember the details, but it might have been that number. Um, it's nice for me because traffic was really bad last time. So my commute that like when they had South by Southwest last year, I had this commute like literally double. It was really bad. And I mean, I think it's a little bit better for me as an artist because I wasn't really being acknowledged by that group or, you know, even ACL. They don't really hire very many local artists. They go all over the world and they pick all these different artists and they bring them all in. But like a lot of the local community gets overlooked on stuff like that. So I think it's a little bit better for me. It did help me to do the 3D music videos, which I really enjoy. I'm really happy I did that style for that album. Um, so I feel like it's pushing me in a good direction, even though it's has a lot of challenges too.
How are you doing your music videos? And I'm curious because all of a sudden I see Terri doing a lot of her stuff on TikTok. So is there a competition there at all? Or does it make you more creative? Because everybody's making them, not me. I'm not that talented, but I see a lot of people doing a lot of talented things.
Um, there's definitely a lot of competition in general in music, and I don't know if it'd really be competition with people like on TikTok because that'd be more like beneficial. If somebody made like a video dancing to my stuff, like I do have one of those on my fan art page that one of my friends made a video dancing to my stuff. So I'd say that's more beneficial when people do that. Uh, but yeah, actually TikTok's getting banned. Did you hear about that?
Well,
I don't know if it's official yet.
there's so many things that have been going on with it, and Brian knows because I mean I do a lot of comedy on there, and I try to promote my fitness stuff on there, but I've been kind of following it. So Oracle supposedly is buying them, and then I guess Walmart was in there, and I don't know what's happening today. There's issues with China, so it keeps going back and forth. I'm hoping the platform doesn't go away, and if it does go away, something else will open up because there's millions of people on there, and I know that people love that platform because it gives them a creative outlet, and especially with COVID right now, because there's so many actors, there's fitness people, there's musicians that can't showcase their talent. At least if they can do these little videos, then they can get them to their YouTube channel or their Instagram, and even for marketing. So I don't know. I mean, as of today, I think it's safe, but who knows? It keeps changing, and I think it all depends on China right now because Trump has approved the deal. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Oh, I guess it depends who obtains them, because maybe that would change their classification or something as far as the way he's viewing them.
I think what the issue is the giving the I mean, I don't know what the technical word is, by giving the platform over to Oracle because it's been approved, but they just have to technically hand over, you know, the data to Oracle. So I don't know. I mean, I probably worded that wrong, but I think you guys get the gist. China's got them kind of a hold right now. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation. So the world's an interesting situation right now, as we all know. So
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
What were you doing during the lockdown? Were you writing more? Were you just storyboarding things out when it came to your music? Because you had something that came out in July, right?
Yeah, so I released my album Thick Juicy Bass in July. I'd already been working on the album for a while, like I think it was about a year or a year and a half in the making at that point. So I was focusing more on the music videos and making those. And then I also released an EP this past month in August. And that one was a collab with a keyboard player in LA. Her name's Dasmond De Leon. So we're doing like quarantine style music videos too, where she'll like send me her clips and then I edit them together to be like a whole story. And those are going really well also.
I like that quarantine style music. That sounds like a new genre.
Yeah, it's like the storyboard, it's kind of like a long distance relationship thing in the story, where, you know, we're kind of dating and then she's like reacting to things that are going on. And I think it makes it really interesting and dynamic, whereas like in the past, I might have had more trouble getting more people involved. It's better having her there, and I like the stuff we're making together.
It's this whole quarantine thing has made everybody have to be kind of think out of the box and be a little bit more creative, which is interesting. And we've talked to other performers, and you know, everybody's, you know, it's making people think, it's making like things, or I guess, you know, music and stuff be a lot deeper. Wouldn't you agree with that, Brian, and with people we've talked to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where I can only imagine what you wrote. I mean, I like that quarantine style music. That just sounds like a title. It sounds like something what Terri would be coming up with her latest TikTok video. I just see it already.
Yeah, and I'm definitely really happy about it too, because if we hadn't had all this stuff happen, I wouldn't have made the effort to make these 3D music videos, and then I wouldn't have this art gallery showing. So it's definitely worked out for the best.
How's your gallery going to be shown? Can you have people come?
Yeah, it's going to be on a Twitch live stream. So it's like twitch.com/thegalleryatx, and it's at 8 p.m. Central today.
I haven't had a chance to really look at Twitch so much. I know it's a great platform. What do you like about it though?
I haven't used Twitch too much. It's mostly for live streaming. A lot of times it's like live streaming of gaming. I would like to try it some more. I just have a few other live stream things that I've used. Like I have a decent following on LiveMe, so I was using that one. Yeah, there's a lot of live streaming platforms, so it's hard to pick one because there's so many options.
Let me ask you this. What's a decent following these days? Are you talking about your Instagram? Are you talking about Twitter or Twitch? Or which ones do you really like?
So, yeah, I mean, I'd say as long as you have a few thousand people, it doesn't have to be that many. As long as people are engaged and they're really getting to see the stuff that you're making, then it's definitely worthwhile. I like to use Twitter because I like that people are more open on there. And yeah, I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and a bunch of music ones too. I like all of them for different reasons. I try to post on all of them as often as I can.
Yeah, Brian's always been telling me, preaching it's about the views and it's not so much about how many followers you have, because, and it is true, and I'm noticing that you want to have people engage with you. So even if you've got, a few thousand followers, if those followers are following you, that's a good thing. If you've got, 20,000 followers and like 5 are not, posting comments, it's not really doing you any good. Or if they're not watching your content. So I think a lot of people get too caught up with how many followers they have instead of how many people are interacting with their work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely true too. And on another note, like a lot of social media platforms, they've changed their algorithms to become advertising platforms. So like on Facebook, you're not going to reach more than like 5% of your followers on a fan page. And that can make it really hard to get your name out there too, because you're trying to grind with the social media game. That's what everybody's been doing for so long. And then it's like they make all these algorithm changes and half the time people don't see what you post. And it definitely makes it more challenging.
Yeah, and that's, Brian, what I told you before. That's why a lot of people right now have gone over to TikTok, because it's easier for them to reach people, because it's not so saturated with marketing it, which later it's going that way, because that's just all the way how all social media goes. But Instagram is so saturated that people can't get their content out, and that's why that Instagram Reels is not doing as well as it should, because people put their content out there like, I can't reach the people I can reach on TikTok. So there's got to be, if TikTok does go away, there needs to be a platform that people can, reach each other and get their content out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely like the creativity on TikTok too, and that it's got more openness there.
Yeah.
Terri, I think you should do something on OnlyFans. And Sage, I was thinking about this. Would you do OnlyFans too? Because I could see you probably doing quite well with that platform.
But OnlyFans though is got the thing is I thought it was like nudity stuff. I don't get OnlyFans. Sorry.
No, it's actually it's not. It's more. It could be anybody doing things, but that's what got the attention. But it's really not that.
Yeah, because I know that's what they got the attention on there. But I just thought that's all. I know I probably could put bikini pictures on there for modeling or for fitness stuff, but I don't want people to think they're going to go up there and find nudity, because that's not what I want to do right now. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out that platform too, because I'm hearing a lot about it.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like I'd want to do some like modeling photos and just have like all the hot modeling photos I have on there. But yeah, I'm not sure, because I did see there's some girl that she like made all this money acting like a dog on TikTok. And So if you like find the right niche demographic, I guess you could do whatever you want. I mean, I'm not sure what I would do yet, because I know most of the people that would want to look for me on there, they would still want the nudity. So,
Uh-huh.
um, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like people have weird fetishes. So people go on there and they do feet fetishes or weird stuff. So I don't really know. I mean, it's one of those hard things where, yeah, I would love to promote my fitness stuff and my bikini modeling stuff. But again, I don't want people to go on there, or I don't want people to get the wrong idea if I say, oh, I'm on OnlyFans, and then people are like, oh, well, she's doing this, because that's just not what I'm about. And, I mean, I did play golf and that stuff like years ago, and I don't. I'm done with that. So,
No, the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of prominent people. That's not why they put this up. It's just another platform.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure. I need to
change the perception of what people think it is. As long as they subscribe to you and you're getting your $14.99, that's what it's really about, because it's about that extra money. That's why those celebrities started going on it. They weren't putting up nude photos. They were going making money.
There was an actress on there, and I cannot remember her name. And I know that a lot of girls that working in the sex industry were all over TikTok complaining about it because everybody thought she was going to put nudes up there, and she didn't. And
that's right. And how much money did she make? $2 million.
She made like $1 million or something like that. And
that's
all the girls were mad because they put.
That's okay. That's okay. She used the platform. Terri, we're doing the thing. We're on 9 different platforms. We use it for our views. And when I put up the charts on Instagram, which is why I use Instagram, I put up to show what we're doing in our growth, and then they see it and they go, wow, you're getting more views from outside of YouTube. That's a rarity. I've never seen that before, but that means that whole thing. So you, Sage, and obviously for you, Terri, it's what you put up. You buck the system.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean, I'm just
not doing anything different. You're doing the same thing. You're just using the platform to our advantage.
Mm-hmm. No, I wish I could remember the actress's name. It's going to drive me crazy.
It was Bella Thorne. I know who she is.
I don't think she did anything wrong. I'm just saying
she didn't do anything wrong.
Because she did that, these other girls are having a big fit because they put limits on something about how much money they can make or something. I don't know. There's some big controversy over it. I don't think she's in the wrong. I'm just saying that she got backlash from the sex.
Hey, you know what? Sage, you're an artist. $2 million is $2 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
She used the platform to her advantage. I would have done the exact same thing. You could be all mad all you want because you didn't make $2 million. I call that being creative. You're that artist, Sage. You know what it's like. You create your stuff. You use that platform, like you just said, how you would use Twitch. I use the same thing for our shows. You use those platforms to your advantage. People don't like it because they didn't think about it.
I have thought about doing like OnlyFans, but I'm
telling you to do it. I've never told anybody to do it. You would do well doing it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I do have a lot of followers like that, and yeah, I mean, I guess I could do like cooking or something.
Absolutely, it doesn't matter. And Terri would do well doing it too. But again, it's the perception of what you think it is, but that's not really what it is. Because I've seen a bunch of fitness people go on there, and you think you're going to see nudes. No, it's just another platform. That's all it is. Except you get the people to see your regular photos. They're paying to see your content.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Sorry. Well, I'm thinking about it if I can do it that way.
What made you want to be an artist? I was always curious about that.
Well, when I was a kid, my parents had a lot of CDs, so I did listen to music a lot. And I initially wanted to be a musician because I wanted to travel, which is interesting because that's probably also the same reason I became a polyglot. And now I don't feel like the music is so much about me wanting to travel. I mean, it's definitely like very global, since I write stuff in other languages and stuff too. But yeah, now I make music for the music's sake and to express myself.
And how do you think that's been doing for you though?
I think it's going really well. People are taking notice of it finally. I've actually positioned myself as someone that's creative and can do stuff themselves, you know, in an industry where a lot of people can't write their own songs. And, you know, it's problematic because I have to compete against this like huge machine, but I'm proud of what I make, and it's more about the music for me than it is about what other people decide to judge it as.
That means we you know, all three of us fall into that ballpark. Terry would always be saying that all the time. I don't care what people think. This is what I do. This is what makes me happy, right? Nonstop.
Yes. Well, you can't think about what other people think because it doesn't matter what you do. Somebody's going to try to tear you down. I mean, I learned that a long time ago. It does not matter. You could say, I like oranges, and they could go, oranges suck. I mean, that's just how people are. So you just have to be you and be authentic.
And Sage, I think you're,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think you're in a great spot because still being in Austin, yeah, it's that music film community. However, I think you have a good advantage because, like you said, the Austin Film Festival, the last 3, actually 4 years, they've been having problems. It's still a good film festival, but film festivals are dead. This is a great time for you to really capitalize on all the stuff, just like it's a great time for Terry doing what the stuff that she's doing. And I couldn't be happier with that now because you're not going to see me doing what she's doing on TikTok. I'm just not that creative when it comes to that. My mind works a different way. But as for that artist, that what you're creating, I think that's great, especially different languages, because I wasn't aware of that. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I do speak a few different languages. Not all of the languages that I write in, I speak completely fluently. So like I'm fluent in Portuguese, but I have also written songs in Spanish. I'm more like intermediate in Spanish, whereas I'll probably understand pretty much everything people say or most of it. I wouldn't necessarily be able to speak it all the time. I'd probably switch to Portuguese mid-sentence half the time. But yeah, I write in other languages because I don't always think in English. A lot of times the poetry, you know, will like come to me while I'm doing something else, and then I'll make it into a full song. So, like on my album Thick Juicy Bass, I have that one song in Spanish, and I think it all just started with the title, which is just Estoy Caliente, and um, you know, I wrote like a little bit from that title, and then it expanded it out into a full song, and I do really like how it went. There's also another thing about running in other languages is there's cultural differences in the type of music people like to hear. So like one of the songs I wrote on the album is in Portuguese, and then I have the one in Spanish. And in like Brazilian funky, which is the style of music, it's usually very dirty and like and sexy, and it's all about shaking your butt. So like I don't like say that as much in English, like I might a little bit, but it's something that I can convey in Portuguese very well, and it has that meaning, and it's still just as fun and sexy, but it doesn't sound vulgar to somebody like it might in English, or be misinterpreted that way. So there's also that additional cultural component to it too that I think makes it sometimes better to write in another language than just in English.
But that culture would like it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because like I do have a lot of friends in Brazil, so I've shared it with them. But also like I'm starting to notice like random YouTube comments and stuff in Portuguese, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get more fans in Brazil, and that's cool to know. And it's definitely nice that it's getting out there and people are enjoying it.
Is it strange?
And where can we find you? Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Terry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, where can his fans find him? His social media.
Well, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr. My website's sagesuede.com. That's got pretty much everything on it. So that's probably the best source there is sagesuede.com. And then I'm also on like SoundCloud, Spotify, Reverb Nation, all the most common streaming platforms. I'd be on there.
Okay.
What are you noticing about? Because I'm missing. I'm lacking. I need someone, a woman who speaks Portuguese, preferably Brazil, because I just love that market. That market is what I need to have. So, what have you been finding about when you're writing in the songs, Portuguese and Portuguese? It's a beautiful language for one, But the people, they're, you know, once they connect to you, and good for you, they will latch on to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. In a good way, of course.
Yes.
Um, so I feel like it's a lot like Texas, actually. It's something that I found. I didn't spend a lot of time in Brazil. I was just there for a month, but I did make a lot of friends while I was there, and we hung out a lot at the clubs and the bars in Belo Horizonte and Rio. I was only in Rio for a few days, but I definitely want to go back because it was beautiful. Um, and yeah, I also worked in recruiting for Latin America at GLG, and there's a lot of people on my LinkedIn now in Brazil. Like I have like 5,000 Brazilian followers, mostly in São Paulo.
Wow.
and and yeah, everybody's really nice. Like I say, it's like Texas because like the people, you know, have that like Southern hospitality. They're pretty friendly in general. Might even be a little bit more friendly in Brazil, I would say. But it has some similarities in the culture where I felt more at home there than I did in Boston, because I went to college in Boston, and people are more cold there. I think it's a lot to do with the weather, but it's also a cultural thing to be a little bit more reserved. Um, but I felt more at home in Brazil than I did in Boston, and I feel like it's just got more similarity to my hometown in Texas and stuff like that.
Well, that's good to know then. Terry, what's been happening with your TikTok as of today?
What do you mean? I put 2 videos out last night.
And so what happened with them?
I don't know. I have been so busy with other things this morning that I don't know yet. I have to go check it. So I'll put some more content out this weekend.
But you've been noticing your traffic and your followers and more views, haven't you?
No, I'm getting well. What I'm noticing as I grow with followers, I'm growing with likes and comments, and that it's just a process with anything else that you do with social media. It kind of domino effect starting to happen. So that's where we're at.
And Sage, on your social media, it's very interesting because you're hitting outside the US, which I think it's very smart. How's it going inside the US though?
It's interesting because it varies a lot. Like sometimes I feel like I do better with like the UK just
Yeah.
because they have a greater appreciation for people being eccentric and original, I guess. And you know, like I guess maybe in some ways I'm a little bit more European because I like culture and I speak different languages and stuff like that. The reason I say as opposed to the US is just because the US market is so saturated. There's so many people and there's so many fake accounts out there, especially on Twitter, like stan accounts where it's just obsessed with one artist, and it might not even be a real person behind that account. It's just like being automated, and they have like 100 different accounts just to hype that artist over and over. But it can be really frustrating in that sense. I do still have a lot of followers in the US, of course. I'd say it's still a majority US mostly, except on Facebook, because on Facebook I have a lot of followers in Angola and Mozambique, for the Portuguese. um, but yeah, it's still mostly US. It's just that challenge of getting heard over the mainstream, which really monopolizes the industry and doesn't always have an appreciation for creativity in the way that I wish music was, I guess, as an industry in the US.
Terry, would you say the same thing that, because I have my opinions on that also, that sometimes it's kind of lacking when it comes to creativity because you can have someone off a reality show, they get their 15 minutes of fame and they really can't do an interview, they can't even speak, but all of a sudden they're famous because they're on a reality show.
Well, it's kind of like that Get the Cash girl or whatever, who was obnoxious and she got famous for that.
Yes.
You know?
Perfect example.
And she's on TikTok now, and it's just like, it's really embarrassing. I don't know if you've seen her on there. She just goes there and she tries to sing, and it's just like, and then everybody does like, you know, the duets with her, just making fun of her. But it's kind of sad though, because why would you want to be known for just being an idiot? I don't know. I mean, I guess she's making money being an idiot, but how long can that last? You know, I don't know. It's just
six minutes now, because 15 minutes is no longer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Well, that's why she's on there kind of. Yeah, well, that's why she's on there trying to make a fool of herself. But I mean, I don't think it. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Attention is not. This is a weird reality because even bad attention is good attention these days. So,
I found that a little bit annoying too, just because so her name's like Bad Bobby or whatever. And she got famous for being on Dr. Phil and saying like "Catch Me Outside" and just being mean to her mom. And I don't know, maybe her mom was in on it, maybe she didn't mind that, but anyways, I find it annoying just because there are all these artists out there that have a lot of talent that they should have gotten the same record deal she got, but she gets like a 5 million something record deal, and she can't sing, she can't write lyrics, she can't produce anything.
That's terrible. That's a waste of money going to nobody.
No, it is. It's horrible, Brian, because she doesn't deserve it because she's not. There's no talent there, and it's like she's not even a nice person. So it's just like, to me, it's like I kind of want people like that to go away because it's just. I mean, I guess there's room for everybody, but it's just. I don't know. I'm just annoyed with it because there's just nothing there.
I mean, I hope there's room for everybody because I find that annoying too. Because like, why do we make that popular in the first place? Because there is real music out there. There is plenty of people with talent. Why would you give a record label deal to somebody that can't do anything in music and is only famous for being kind of a douche on a TV show? Like,
yeah, no. It's kind of like people want to watch the train wreck, but the train wreck to me gets boring after a while. So.
Yeah, and even then the train wreck has to be on like a national, like huge platform, or it doesn't really matter because you can't just be a train wreck like on your own social media and have that take off. It has to be like a huge thing already. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well she got on a platform, so we'll see what happens with that. It's kind of interesting. It's just, again, some of these things don't make sense to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't want to hate on anybody that's successful. So hopefully she does well with what she's doing. But I definitely do feel like there's a lot of artists out there that deserve that kind of label deal and the recognition for what they're doing.
And that's why we're talking to you today.
Thank you. I do appreciate it a lot. And y'all are really nice, so it's nice to talk to you too. So.
Hey, we got about 3 minutes.
Again, thanks.
Talk about what you want to do between now and the end of the year. What's your next goal?
Well, I do have a lot going on. For the rest of the year, my main goal is just to keep promoting the music and share it with a lot of different people. So I had the album come out that was Thicc Juicy Bass in July. Maybe it was June. Actually, I think it was June. And that's doing really well. And then I also had my EP come out with Desmond DeLeon. It's called Glossy. That one's going really well too. Just sharing those with people is my main goal till the end of the year and getting more press for everything. And then I'll probably start a new album in 2021.
So for your fans in around the world, how many languages do you speak? 2, 3?
It's hard to say because like I speak them to a different extent. So I'm fluent in Portuguese. I'm pretty fluent in German, but don't get mad at my grammar. I'm intermediate in Spanish. I speak some Russian, like a beginner, I guess. So that's like about 5 languages. And then I obviously understand more than that from like the Romance languages and stuff too, because if you get Portuguese, you're probably gonna understand Italian and Spanish, and I understand a lot of French too. I guess I'm a beginner in French also.
So I'm gonna have you say who you are in Portuguese to the Brazilians about your latest album and what you want to accomplish between now and the end of the year. Go.
Meu nome é Suede. Eu crio música em vários estilos, usando o meu computador e meu voz. Eu gosto de compartilhar a música em muitas diferentes Cozias. I messed up the gender there, but you know, you would have gotten the point if I kept going. I felt
And
bad
they
that
would
I was
and they
messing up
would have
the
said
gender.
congratulations to you because it's about the intention of that you're putting it out there, and that's all that matters. Whether you go to France, whether you go to Italy, or whatever, they're just appreciate that any American is attempting than not trying at all.
Yeah, I had that job recently that I mentioned where I was cold calling people in Brazil all the time, and and that was a lot. So I mean, I can tell you like some of the things like they say like for social for like quarantining, they usually say like isolamento social and or quarantina um and stuff like that. And they got like home office, they say home officey and yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. I definitely really like that culture a lot, and I do want to go back sometime because I have a lot of friends there and had a really good time when I was in Brazil. So
Give your social media links one more time.
so I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's sage_Suede. I'm on Facebook as Sage Suede. I'm also on Tumblr, sagesuede.tumblr.com. And my website is sagesuede.com. So you'll be able to find like my modeling portfolio, fan art, and a bunch of stuff about the music that I write and, you know, lyrics and stuff like that.
And your art gallery coming up.
And the art gallery is today, which is September 25th at 8 p.m. And you can watch the Twitch live stream. It's twitch.com/the gallery ATX.
And
Unless it's twitch.tv.
give your social medias, your TikTok, and one video that you like that you would want people to see that haven't seen it.
Okay, so my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, basically all my platforms is Terri Marie Nonstop. My website is terrimarieofficial.com. And there's a video that I did, a Fergie song where it ends up being comedy in a bikini. And I think I've got like 20,000 views on it right now, but it's pretty funny. Just leave it at that.
All right. And I'm going to leave it at that. So with that, because she sends them to me and I start laughing automatically before I see them, like, which one is this one going to be? Because I think it's amusing.
I sent it to you. I know I did.
Is it Fergalicious?
It's Fergalicious, yeah. And there's a punchline to it. So it's, I mean, I try to make everything. I mean, there's some that most of my videos, I try to put a goofy spin on it because it's just me. Because I think, you know, any girl can go on there and be pretty or whatever. Like, I'm just a goofy person. So I try to put that in my videos. And even when I do my fitness stuff, I'm just the goofy fitness person. So there you go.
All right.
Up in the gym, just working on my fitness. Yeah, I like that song.
Hey, Sage, thank you so much. Honor and pleasure to meet you. All right. So for Nonstop, it's Brian, Sebastian. It's Movie Reviews and More, WomenOnTV.tv, iTube247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, and the Worldwide TV Network. And if you see somebody without a smile, please give them one of yours because we're still in that COVID-19 and the world needs it. And we'll see you next week.